Hello, everybody. Um, Thank you for coming. Let me introduce some people up here. I'm Aunt LaLa, and I've lost my voice. And so we got Mama Tried. She was at the court proceedings as well. We have Jessica with a K. She saved us. So, and Sister Knives. Um, so here we are. We we were down to the wire to get this right. We're going to kind of lay out this format for you. I don't know. Oh, someone's trying to come up, but right now, what we're going to do is we're going to play the audio. We're just going to play it straight through for about, what would you say, Sister Knives, like maybe an hour's worth. We'll end the stream, and then I'll start a new live and play it again with the commentary. And we will answer questions and we can have a discussion about it. And hopefully that sounds good to everybody. So that way you can also have it broken down and uninterrupted, right? So and that way both parties can get a fair chance to hear just the audio and, soak it in. And like I said, once it ends, I'll end this live and start a new one. Okay. Sister Knives, are you there? You want to say something? No. She's okay. All right. Jessica, can you just go ahead and push play? Can anyone hear me? My panel has left me high and dry. Mhm. Yeah. Hello.
The evidence needs to be
No, I'm here.
subject to cross-examination.
Okay, everybody mute.
So while I can take judicial notice of the application and motion, the court needs to take a look again at those reasons for a protection order. But interestingly, it does not require a finding of imminent danger in order to have a necessary prerequisite for issuing a permanent protection order. And that, of course, is, we were talking about it in January, and now it is here in March. But I examined those facts on the first prong to make sure that there were grounds constituting good cause for the issuance of a protection order, and that two, unless restrained, the defendant will continue to commit such acts or does acts designed to intimidate or retaliate against the protected person. So we've got a two-prong approach. And before and after, which has been emphasized over and over again by the defendant, is a point really well taken. What was before the court at the time of that first hearing to justify the protection order, and then what's gone on since then? Well, we're going to take prong two first, okay? Frankly, folks, all hell's broken loose since the order of protection was issued in January. That order of protection was issued on January 13th of 2022. I have a return of service indicating that it was served upon the defendant on the 17th of January in Iowa. And since that time, there has been an extreme escalation by the defendant. With allegations that not just once, but twice that order of protection has been violated since that time, in reviewing the exhibits that have been admitted, and let me go through this with you. The court has admitted Plaintiff's Exhibit 2A, 2B, 3A, 6A. And now we come upon some weird numbers. 7, 2A through.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. Can you reach private chat, please? Andrea, I need you to check that in private chat. No. Yeah, Andrea did that. Okay, we found the problem. Oh, for heaven's sake. I'm going to have a panic attack up here. Yes, you can hear my eye rolls. There's many. Are y'all fixing that? Yeah, Sister Knives. Just wait till it's over. Just wait. Come in. My patient. Good night. I'll see you in the morning. Bye.
Are you threatening me?
Yes.
Sorry.
Did you fix it? Oh, I can't wait to call you after this. It's okay. We're going to get this. Oh, my anxiety is through the roof. Y'all just hang in there. We got an Andrea problem.
Someone's going to put a PPO out on you before the night comes.
I'm telling you. Let me tell you, my anxiety. Oh my gosh. Okay, you're doing it? Okay. Everybody mute. Sorry, guys. Here it is. And real quick, Andrea, are you sure that's backed up like at 9 a.m.? Yeah, just double check it before we get on too far. Andrea, can you hear me?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Sister Knives, no. Go at
No
9
what?
a.m., please.
No what?
Not at 9:16, but that's when I was saying like it was before that because that's when she said it took us 20 minutes to get started.
Not to make sure that you are safe. So
I want to see. What I feel should happen is the very first thing we'll hear is Aunt LaLa the drunken
those are the
fool.
conditions of my bond here. And best of luck to you. We'll see you later this week in Division 1. Thank you. We've got, I think it's Teresa Zambo.
Just leave it.
Good morning. Do you say Teresa, not Teresa?
Teresa.
All right. Well, good morning. Let's talk about your two cases. The first is a failure to appear in Denver. That is case 21 CR 4189. And in that case, a Denver court has set your bond at $5,000 cash or surety. We also have a Broomfield case, and that was a warrant filing in 21 CR 374. In that case, we have you coming back to court in Division 1 on March 9th at 1:30. Regarding the issue of bond, Mr. Nelson?
If anyone were to receive that score and as well as the pending Denver FGA, I'll simply ask court to consider setting the bond as well as post-conference setting that.
Thank you. Ms. Atwood?
Yes, Your Honor. Because of the FDA and the high CPAP score, we would request that the court set the bond at full in this case, which for a felony would be 20.
Well, and that's where the bond was set at the time that the warrant was issued. At this time, the court is not comfortable reducing the bond any farther than it has already been set. So bond will remain at the $2,500 cash or surety mark. Thank you, ma'am. Next up, we're going to have Scott Colglazier. Good morning, sir. Sir, probable cause has been found on your case over the weekend. 22 CR 77 is your case number. You will return for the filing of charges in Division 1, March 9th at 1:30. Regarding the issue of bond, let's start with Mr. Nelson.
Okay, I'm aware of the nature of the charges, and that tends to sometimes in cases like this be the driving factor in terms of the bond setting. But he doesn't have a particularly high CPAT score at 223. And so I am, while the court may not be comfortable granting any kind of personal recognizance bond, I am going to ask the court to consider deviating the bond downward simply based on this low CPAT score and lack of any substantive history beyond this case.
Well, thank you, Mr. Nelson. Ms. Atwood, do you agree that we don't have any similar charges in the past?
Judge, I do agree that we don't have any similar charges, although given the nature of the allegations, community safety concern here. Sir Colglazier's criminal history is old. He has a DUI from 1989 and then a 1995 assault case. Judge, the people would not agree to a PR bond here just simply because of the nature of the charges and would ask the court to set the bond schedule. Thank you.
Right, Mr. Colglazier, I'm going to deviate slightly from the bond schedule. I'm going to set your bond at $1,500 cash or surety. With your bond is going to come no contact with anyone under the age of 18. This is your one and only chance, sir, so please abide by that court order. That is a condition of your bond. No contact with anyone under the age of 18. We'll see you back in court on March 9th at 1:30. Thank you. Tiffany Brave. Good morning, Ms. Brave. Ms. Brave, I would need to tell you about two cases out of Broomfield. Both are failure to appear warrants. The first is 20M418. You have a $750 cash or surety bond in that case. We have scheduled a pretrial conference for you in Division 1 on March 17th at 1:30. And Broomfield case 21T75, your bond is also set at $750 cash or surety. Your court date in that case is going to be in Division C on March 15th at 1:30, and that is a sentencing hearing. That sentencing hearing again, March 15th at 1:30. Thank you. Then we have Mr. Glenn. Damian Glenn. Good morning, sir. Sir, your case is out of Jefferson County. That is 22 CR 416. Your bond in Jefferson County is $10,000 cash only. Okay? So you will need to get transported over to Jefferson County and get your case taken care of out there. I don't have any jurisdiction on your case whatsoever. Okay? So safe travels. Then we have Josiah Luevano. Good morning, sir. Sir, I've got to tell you about two Adams County cases. First of all is Adams County case 20M1882. In that case, your bond is $1,500 cash or surety. And it appears there is another case in Adams County. I'm going to need to look that one up.
Judge, I think that Adam's case might be 21T10132.
21T. You talk too fast for me, Miss Atwood. 10. Go ahead.
21T10132.
132.
The DUI.
All
Yeah,
right.
the DUI.
All right. So that second case number is 21T10132, and on that case, sir, your bond is set at $500 PR. Okay. So if you're not able to post bond on that first case, you're going to need to get transported that to Adams County to deal with that case out there, okay? All right, best of luck to you. And last up is Nashton Kamanu.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, good. I say it in my head first before I pronounce it, and I try to get it right. Sir, your case is you got the award for being farthest away today. It's a Michigan case. And so we have an extradition case number for you here in Broomfield, and that is 22CR82. And we have scheduled you for an extradition hearing in Division A on March 10th at 8:30 in the morning, okay?
Yes.
And so that will remain a no bond hold pending that case, okay?
Yes.
All right, safe travels for you, sir. Thank you. All right, I think I've run out of paperwork. You agree, Mr. Nelson, Ms. Atwood?
I ran out of paperwork, so I hope so.
Okay, all right. Folks, have a good day. Stay warm.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yes. See, Mr. Nelson.
Thanks for using WebEx. Visit our website at www.webex.com.
Good morning, folks. It's nice to see everybody. This is our first day back in courtroom where masks are optional, not mandatory. Feel free to do as you wish. If you'd like to wear a mask, certainly you may. And if you'd like to social distance, you may do that as well. It's never a very crowded courtroom. I'm going to reset by going and getting a little glass of water. Counsel, have you had a chance to talk this morning?
No, we did just talk,
Okay.
and Ms. Oriani does not want to sell this.
Okay. All right, then I will be right back and we can get started.
Your Honor, before you leave, I do have a thumb drive for you with potential exhibits on it,
Okay.
or I can share it with you by Dropbox link and with Ms. Oriani, whichever you prefer.
I have the same, I have exhibits as well.
Yeah, go ahead and exchange those exhibits, and I will just take those exhibits as they become relevant.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And there you go.
Thank you. I'm gonna post Judge Quick's judge order on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can post it somewhere where people, because it's so doggone long.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it on the front door because I have the mask required. I'll pull that down.
Perfect. Okay, so, okay, yeah. That's why Mr. McCarthy thought you had to wear a mask this morning. Yeah, just so new.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm gonna put this on.
All right, I'll be right back. Okay.
That's not right. This is not. Are you guys aware that member that's in this program right now has been threatening me? I just found out letting the judge notice that a woman has been making, I knew not anybody else then. She was like, Aunt Lana, trying to keep it. And her name is Alicia Ferreira. Yeah, she's threatening. I just found out, of course, now. The judge said before she didn't speak. I'm not agreeing that this is serious, so I take it serious that someone can be probably traumatized to me. Just so I just want to share some about it. Okay. I appreciate it. Great. And I was just going to share your drop off.
All rise, court is now in session. Thanks, folks. Go ahead and have a seat. And If we're having some productive conversations, why don't you continue to have them, or would you like me to step out of the room?
Your Honor, I think that they are not particularly productive.
Okay. All right. Well, folks, last time, there it is. Last time we were here, I was very hopeful that y'all would be able to settle this. Not that I mind. I actually love trial work. That is my passion. That's the reason that I went into the area of law. But when we're dealing with people's lives in just a civil matter, it just seems like these are matters that can be solved. I'll remind everyone there is no recording of any kind, audio, visual. That's very important that we have one record for court, and that be the transcript of court proceedings. So at the end of the trial, you may order a copy of that transcript if needed, but that will be the record. So Ms. Oriani, you don't think there's any chance of being able to resolve this outside of the trial, huh?
I was hopeful to resolve things outside of trial.
Okay. Do you want a little more time to talk?
I also just want to file a motion here to dismiss the temporary order.
Well, that's what we're here today to do.
Yeah, I just had a support brief. And they told me that I could turn it in here today.
Well, you can. When am I supposed to read it? We were scheduled to start 18 minutes ago.
I actually tried to file this a couple different times with the e-file and then actually in person, and it said that it wasn't the right format. So I went ahead and made sure that it was in the right format.
No, I'll take it, but I'm not going to consider it. It's not timely. So for the record, this has been filed. It's filed 18 minutes after our scheduled trial.
Your Honor, to the extent that is uploaded onto the online filing system, I request that it be uploaded as suppressed. It contains very confidential information about my client that would not normally be publicly available.
Then it will be put under suppressed. I'll go ahead and just mark it as such. And the record will reflect that this will not be considered as not timely. All right, Ms. Oriani, I just want to say that this is one of the reasons that I was hopeful that this could have been resolved since we were last here, only because of the difficulty in representing yourself. Should you have chosen to get an attorney today, that attorney well-versed in the filing of things and in-state as opposed to out-of-state. And we're about to start a trial, and I need to tell you that the rules of evidence absolutely apply in this courtroom. And I am fearful that you are not well-versed in those rules and are going to be frustrated. You sure you don't want one last opportunity to talk with counsel before we get started today?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Your Honor, I have one preliminary matter to address.
Okay.
Your Honor, something happened last night that I believe constitutes contempt of the court's 228 order regarding attempted service upon Ms. Walsh's daughter, and also a violation of the protection order in general, but more specifically of the court's order. And there are two people here who are witnesses to that. We did not have an opportunity to subpoena them, and so I'm requesting that the court order them to stay in the event that testimony is needed on their behalf. One is Ms. King and one is Ms. Abeda, who's out in the hallway. This happened last night at around 5 o'clock, and so it just wasn't possible for us to subpoena them for the hearing today. And I would be happy to address the contempt matter up front, or because
Well, you haven't filed a contempt, and it's going to be contempt outside the presence of the court, so that's going to need to follow the contempt path. Now, or if these are two witnesses that you wish to present, are these?
Yes, Your Honor, but this event didn't happen until last night.
Sure. But if they are somehow relevant, I don't know. If relevance can be established for them to be witnesses in your hearing today, in the trial today, then I'm going to order that they stay.
Yes.
Could I have both names, please?
Sarah King and Jamie Abeta. Yeah, and Miss Abeta, I think, is ill, and so she's in the hallway to avoid being around a bunch of people. Perhaps she could just come in to hear the court say that, and then both of them could be sequestered.
All right. Well, first of all, Ms. King is in the courtroom. Good morning, Ms. King. Ms. King, I am going to order that you remain in the courthouse under court order as a witness in this case. So please know that. And officer, could you go out in the hallway and call for what's Ms. Abeta's first name?
Jamie.
For Jamie Abeta to just briefly come in the courtroom so that I can also give her that same order. Thank you. Ms. Abeta, I don't need you to do anything, but just stand right there. Are you Jamie Abeta? All right, Ms. Abeta, I just wanted you to come in here briefly. I understand you're not feeling well, and I appreciate you being here. Ms. Abeta, you are a potential witness in this case now, and I am going to order that you remain in the courthouse at least until the plaintiff's case in chief is over, at which time then I'm going to ask plaintiff counsel if, in fact, your presence is still required, but just to remain in the courthouse, okay? Additionally, the court is going to enter a sequestration order for any and all witnesses. So let me go ahead and take your list of witnesses, counsel.
We only have Ms. Walsh, who I believe is permitted to stay, and then Ms. Abeta and Ms. King.
Okay, and Ms. Oriani, who are your witnesses for today?
There's no witnesses for today.
Okay. Do you want to testify?
Nope.
Okay.
Also, Your Honor, I would like to make it known that there is a party in the gallery that has made threats on my life that's actually here watching, and she goes by the online name Aunt LaLa the Drunken Cupid, and her real life name is Alicia Ferreira.
Ms. Oriani, how is that relevant?
I just want to know that somebody that's in the courthouse here is a public figure to report for YouTube, and who's made
That's absolutely who's in the gallery is not relevant unless they're a witness. I'm not going to have a circus in this courtroom today. This is going to just be about the elements of the protection order in the state of Colorado and whether this court makes a finding by preponderance of the evidence to satisfy that. And I'm not going to get into. I know y'all have talked a lot about this blogging. I still don't even understand it. So we're going to keep it as simple and as basic as possible. That's what the law is supposed to be about. So with that, ladies, I'm going to excuse you as witnesses, and you're not. The sequestration order is you're not to talk about the case out in the hallway either. So talk about the weather and the Broncos. I don't know that you're Bronco fans. I don't think you're from Colorado, but there you go. Talk about shopping and shoes and fun stuff, puppy dogs, kittens. I actually heard a report that people that will take a look at those 60-second videos on their phones of kittens actually have a better or a higher satisfaction rate and happiness level. So that's a good thing to take a look at. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started.
I'm so happy right now. I just had to say that. Okay.
Let's go ahead and let me have entry of appearance from counsel, and please introduce those people at your table.
Jennifer Zimmerman and Sydney Dolan appearing on behalf of petitioner Ms. Vanessa Walsh.
All right, and Ms. Oriani, go ahead.
Yes, Lana Oriani, pro se.
Thank you. Under Colorado Revised Statute 1314-106. To summarize, if at the hearing the magistrate finds by a preponderance of the evidence that the respondent or the defendant, in this case that's Ms. Oriani, has committed acts constituting grounds for the issuance of a civil protection order, and that two, unless restrained, will continue to commit such acts, or acts designed to intimidate or retaliate against the protected person, the magistrate shall, in other words, must, order the temporary civil protection order to be made permanent. Okay, so that's what, that's the standard that we're dealing with here today. Okay, preponderance of the evidence. It just means we're just weighing on the scales of justice, and one side is just tipped ever so slightly in favor of the prevailing party, whoever that might be. So with that, Ms. Zimmerman, who is your first witness?
Thank you, Your Honor. We call Vanessa Walsh.
All right, Ms. Walsh, come on up to the witness stand, please. And I don't care if you're sitting up or down, it doesn't change the oath, but raise that right hand. Under the penalty of perjury, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, go ahead and have a seat.
Your Honor, may I approach with a thumb drive?
Okay, you may. Now, I'm not going to consider it until it is made relevant.
Understood.
That's how it goes with all evidence. Every single piece of evidence needs to be brought to the court's attention and pass that relevant standard before considered. Go ahead.
So, Ms. Walsh, I want to start out talking about something that happened last night. Can you tell me what you were doing last night at around 5 o'clock in the evening?
I was in my home, actually preparing stuff for today.
And did someone come to your door?
Yes. Jamie Aveda and Sarah King.
And who are Jamie Aveda and Sarah King?
Friends of Miss Oriani.
What did they do?
They were driving up and down the street, which is why I noticed them in the first place. Really slowly, like they were looking around, pulled up in front of my home, got out, took pictures of my home, banged on the front door, and left something on my front door.
Did you at some point open your door and see what it was?
Yes.
And what was it?
The subpoenas for my husband and my minor daughter.
Did you see the car that the people were driving in?
Yes.
What kind of car was it?
It was a dark blue BMW. It was X5. And
did you see the person driving it?
yes,
Who was the driver?
Jamie Vega.
And what did you do next?
Well, my daughter was home. She was upset, so I called police.
And did you at some point log on to the internet?
Yes. Objection, Your Honor. I don't understand the relevancy of what two people that, I don't understand the relevancy of this.
Your Honor, I'm laying foundation.
All right, these are foundational questions. I'm going to ask you to maybe speed that up. Ms. Zimmerman, I appreciate this, but I know who Ms. Walsh is that she is the plaintiff, but we're dealing with no foundation so far. Right. Go ahead.
When you logged onto the internet, what did you see?
I saw Miss Oriani on a live at Jamie Aveda's house. And Miss Aveda had stated that she was going on a mission on live.
So Miss Oriani was broadcasting live from Miss Aveda's house.
Yes.
And can you tell me again what Miss Aveda said?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
That's hearsay.
Your Honor, it goes to the impact on Miss Walsh.
Still hearsay.
Your Honor, it's not for the truth of the matter asserted. What I believe she said is that she was going on a mission.
Your Honor,
what it relates
hold
to is the fact that she was essentially stating on a live video from her own home that she was going, while in the presence of Ms. Oriani, that she was going to Ms. Walsh's house.
So why isn't that truth of the matter asserted?
Because it's not that she was going on a mission. It's that what Ms. Oriani is stating is that she doesn't know these people. That's literally what she said. And she was staying at Ms. Aveda's house, and Ms. Aveda was going on an errand for her.
All right. Ms. Oriani.
Your Honor, I never stated that I did not know these people. Ever to counsel and I talked in the private room, and it was about not having this hearing because she was going to charge me with contempt, and I felt that she was trying to intimidate me, potential witness in this case.
No, I need an objection to the evidence.
I object to the relevancy of this, and me being on a live stream at somebody's home. I am not in charge of another person, and I had no idea what Ms. Aveda meant.
And that objection is going to be overruled for that reason. I'm going to admit it, not for whether or not, in fact, Ms. Aveda was the person driving by the home, but solely for the purpose that it associates both people together, and that is the only reason that will be admitted. Continue.
So I'm going to direct the court's attention to what we have identified as Exhibit 10G. And if I may approach the witness, Your Honor. Ms. Walsh, did you take that photo?
Yes.
What is that a photo of?
This Venus on my door.
And when did you take that photo?
Right after they left.
Is that a true and accurate representation of what those photos look like?
Yes.
Or what those papers look like?
Yes.
Your Honor, I request that the court admit Exhibit 10G into evidence.
Okay. Ms. Oriani, do you have a copy of 10G?
I'm actually unable to see it because this isn't loading out. It's and that's 2 pieces of paper. Correct. What's the piece of paper underneath the other paper?
I'm just asking if you object to this photo being admitted based on what Ms. Walsh said it was.
Well, I can't tell what the second paper is, so it's Mrs. Walsh's interpretation of what the second paper is.
All right. No, that's that objection is overruled. 10G will be admitted.
Now, and actually, Your Honor, may I just stay up here to go through a couple of exhibits with Ms. Walsh?
Sure.
Okay, now I'm directing the court's attention to Exhibit 10H. Did you take that photo?
Yes.
What is that a photo of?
That's sorry. I can't tell which one that is. That is, thank you. That is the subpoena for my husband.
And is that one of the papers that was included on your door?
Yes.
And did you take that photo last night?
Yes.
Is that a true and accurate representation of what the paper on your door was?
Yes.
I request that the court admit Exhibit 10H into evidence. And I did provide Ms. Oriani a copy of everything on her flash drive. I can instead share it with her by Dropbox if she prefers.
Yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
And if you could, since she indicated right now she doesn't have the ability to open that flash drive, if you could also just show her the picture on your screen.
I can look through this if it matters. Oops. I think it's a.
Yes. I can.
So it was the P went to her daughter. I have no idea, so I don't know, this is the first time seeing it.
The other one is a photo of this.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, I'm just sending a Dropbox link with the same documents that were provided to the court on a flash drive to Ms. Oriani at her email address labeled Just Jax. I'm now discussing with Ms. Walsh Exhibit 10E. I'm sorry, Your Honor, is 10H admitted?
10H will be admitted.
Now this is Exhibit 10E. What is this?
That is the second subpoena that is for my minor child.
Did you take that photo?
Yes,
When did you take that photo?
after they left yesterday.
Was that one of the papers that was left on your door?
Yes,
Is that a true and accurate representation of the photo that you took
yes,
and of the paper that was on your door?
yes.
I request that 10E be admitted, Your Honor. And I did just send a copy of this to Ms. Oriani, but I'm happy to show her a photo as well.
All right, Ms. Oriani, have you received that?
Yes, I just did, Your Honor.
Okay, so now you can access
Now I
it
can
on
look
your
at
phone. Okay.
Thank you.
Any objection under the rules of evidence?
And that was H, right?
10E?
10E and 10H. Oh, 10H was already admitted, so 10E.
Okay.
Did you have an objection under the rules of evidence, Ms. Oriani?
No.
10E will be admitted.
Now I'm going to address exhibits 10A through 10D. So Ms. Oriani, or excuse me, Ms. Walsh, I'm showing you what's been marked as exhibit 10A, 10B, 10C, and 10D. Can you describe to me what those are?
Pictures of Miss Vegas vehicle driving up to my home.
When did you take those pictures?
I think it was around 4 p.m. yesterday.
And are those true and accurate representations of the photos you took?
Yes,
And is that the car that was dropping papers off at your house?
yes.
Can you identify the individual in the photo marked 10D?
Yes,
What is that?
Jamie Beta,
And do you know who's in the passenger seat?
Sarah King.
I request that the court admit exhibits 10A through D into evidence.
Any objection under the rules of evidence through to exhibits 10A, 10B, 10C, 10,
No.
10D? All right, those exhibits will be admitted.
Ms. Walsh, how did you interpret this as service of process?
No.
What reaction did this cause in you?
I was extremely upset, more stressed out, because my daughter was home at the same time.
The two pieces of paper you said had your husband's name and your daughter's name on them.
Yes.
What was your understanding of why those were left?
Intimidation to not be here today, one last ditch effort or revenge.
Objection, Your Honor. But again, relevancy on all of this.
And that objection's overruled.
Okay.
Is this the first time that you interpreted conduct of Ms. Oriani's or other people related to her to be directed at causing you not to appear at the hearing today?
No.
When did that first come up?
As soon as she was served, the day after she was served, she posted a picture of my husband on her community wall. She also stated in a video that I only have one option, which is not to show up, because if I don't testify, this would be dropped.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
I'm showing Ms. Walsh the exhibit that has been marked as Exhibit 8A. What is this?
That's a photo of my husband.
And who wrote the quote on it?
Ms. Oriani.
Do you know when this was posted?
Yes, January 18th.
And is this, did you take this screenshot?
Yes.
Is that a true and accurate representation of the screenshot that you took?
Yes.
Your Honor, I submit Exhibit 8A into evidence.
Ms. Oriani, any objection using the rules of evidence?
No.
Okay, 8A will be admitted.
So looking at this and reading from the quote, it is a photo of your husband, and it says, quote, "I'm looking forward to telling Sean the whole truth and nothing but the truth."
Yes.
Do you know what that was referring to?
It was her threatening me to, in my interpretation of it, that she was threatening me not to show up.
And how many days, do you know the date that Ms. Oriani was served with the paperwork in this case?
January 17th.
And how many days after that was this posted?
The next day.
So I'm gonna go back a little bit and talk about YouTube and the way that it's set up. So what is your current job?
I'm a YouTube creator.
Okay, what does that mean?
I create content regarding true crime.
Is that your full-time job?
Yes.
Okay. So can you explain to me the different components of YouTube and the way that a YouTube creator like yourself would interact with viewers or subscribers?
Yes. They can leave comments on public posts or on videos. They can also tag you, which is where they put the @ symbol and the name of your channel and notify you.
Okay. And what impact does it have if you are tagged?
It shows up on your feed.
So it notifies you?
Yes.
Is it akin to sending a direct message to you?
Yes.
Okay. Since January 17th, and Your Honor, I would like the court to take judicial notice of the fact that the affidavit of service in this case does indicate that Ms. Oriani was served on January 17th of 2022.
Let's just see. I have a return of service that was filed with the court on January 25th. We'll take judicial notice of that return of service. That does indicate service to the respondent in Franklin, Ohio, as of Monday, January 17th at 7:00 p.m. So noted.
So since January 17th, has Ms. Oriani tagged you in any posts on her YouTube page?
Yes.
And have those been videos or have those been something else?
Mainly community posts and videos.
And can you explain to me what a community post is?
So we have a certain number of subs. There is a tab on your channel where anyone can see. You can basically just post public posts and anyone can go read them.
Ms. Walsh, can you explain what a sub is?
A sub is a subscriber. It's someone that subscribes to your channel and that's your subscriber count.
Okay. And so as a person who does YouTube full-time as a job, how many subscribers do you have?
120,000, a little over 200,000.
Okay. How many, based on your personal experience, how many subscribers are necessary to be able to make YouTubing into a full-time job?
Probably, the more the better, but probably 100,000.
Okay. And how long has this been your full-time job?
2 years.
Okay. So I'm going to approach you to identify some additional exhibits. I am showing Ms. Walsh what has been marked as exhibits 8B, C, D, E, F, and G. Ms. Walsh, did you take these screenshots?
Yes.
And can you show me why you took these screenshots or what they depict?
Because she's tagging me and writing my name and tagging my brand in all of them.
And were these all taken after January 17th?
Yes.
Do you have the specific dates that these were taken?
I would have to look. Not offhand, there were so many of them, but they were after January 17th.
And are these fair and accurate representations of the screenshots that you took depicting your channel being tagged?
Yes.
And just to clarify, what is the name of your channel?
Unmasked.
Your Honor, I request that exhibits 8A through 8G, or I'm sorry, 8B through 8G be admitted.
You've got to lay more foundation, counsel. I don't find so far that they're relevant. I don't know who, there are these screen names. How do I link those with Ms. Oriani?
Thank you, Your Honor.
There's a link missing.
So there's a photo at the top. Who's that a photo of?
Ms. Oriani.
And what is her screen name at the top?
Truth and Transparency is the name of the channel.
Do you know whether or not that is with Ms. Oriani?
Yes, it is.
And how do you know that?
Because that's her channel and her photo is there next to her name.
And is she also writing about things that she had personal knowledge of?
Yes.
Objection, there's no dates to any of these posts as well.
I'm about to go through the dates.
Okay.
So I'm directing your attention now to exhibit 8B. Do you recall the date that that was posted? And if it would refresh your recollection to look at the exhibit chart that you made in this case?
Yes, please.
Just read these quietly to yourself and then let me know if your recollection is refreshed.
Yes.
Okay. So what date was exhibit 8B?
January 19th.
And then I'm looking at exhibit 8C, where you are tagged at Unmasked. Is that you?
Yes.
And then will you read the next part of that? Is that a direct question? Where it says, why did you stop showing how many total members you have on your channel?
I was reading the wrong part. Yes, it's a direct question to me.
And do you recall the date of that? Exhibit 8C.
January 24th.
I'm now looking at exhibit 8D.
Okay, I'm going to back you up, counsel. There's something that's been blocked out and I don't know why. On HC. And there was something on 8B too. I don't know why those markings are there.
So, Your Honor, these are, I believe those are notations. Did you write those notations?
No, she did.
Those were notations on the screenshot that were in the post posted by Ms. Oriani. I don't know the purpose of them, but that is the screenshot that's taken.
With the Sharpie markings?
I know they look like Sharpie markings. I believe that they are electronic markups.
All right, continue.
So I'm moving on to 8D. Do you remember the date at 8D?
January 24th.
And is that your handle tag?
Yes.
And is that from Ms. Oriani?
Yes.
On 8E, is that also from Ms. Oriani?
Yes.
And is that your handle tagged?
Yes.
And what date is that?
January 24th.
On 8F, is that from Ms. Oriani?
Yes.
And there are a number of people tagged there. Is one of them you?
Yes.
And do you remember the date of that?
January 25th, 24th.
Would it refresh your recollection to look at the document that you made about these?
Yes. The 25th.
And then 8G, is that from Ms. Oriani?
Yes.
And are you tagged in that?
Yes.
And do you recall the date? If it refreshes your recollection, then you are welcome to look at the document.
January 25th.
Your Honor, I request that 8B through G be admitted into evidence.
Ms. Oriani?
No objection.
Okay. The court will then admit exhibits 8B through G into evidence.
So, Ms. Walsh, with these exhibits 8B through G, tell me what you experienced on your end when you are tagged with them.
When I pull up my channel for the day, it notifies me in the feed that comes up in front of you with your notifications. It's essentially, if you were to get a text, it comes through in your feed and it notifies you.
Okay. And does it notify you of the content and who it's from also?
Yes.
Okay. Now I want to talk to you about some other videos that Ms. Oriani made at the time that, or shortly after she was served. Do you recall watching a video on January 19th of 2022?
Yes.
And do you recall the content of that video?
Could you show it to me?
Yes. I'm approaching with Exhibit A. I'm sorry, Exhibit 2A.
Yes.
Okay, and can you describe what this video is?
I believe the title of that one is Work With Me, and that is her talking about coming to Denver.
And
Ma'am, I had a tough time understanding you. Could you repeat that?
Let's try. It's a video that where she's discussing coming to Denver for the temporary restraining order.
Who's she?
Ms. Oriani.
Okay.
Your Honor, I request permission to play the video for her so that I can make sure it's what she remembers she can clip up.
Well, when's the last time you took a look at that clip?
I would say maybe within the last week, but there's a lot of them.
Okay. If you can identify this one based on the sort of identifying information, and
Yes.
Is this a fair and accurate representation of the clip that you made from watching this?
Yes.
And this was on January 19th?
Yes.
I request permission to play it for the court.
You may.
John for John Ross, wasn't he the case I remember? Was he in the, can you check your, because you paid for it on my end. Yeah, you paid for everything. Yeah. Yeah. Did you guys ever get involved with Facebook groups and stuff like that? I found some. Okay, so stuff like that.
No, I didn't. Your Honor, there are two things.
Okay. Everybody loves you on this channel. I just want to tell you what people are saying in chat.
I'm going to play this one more time so that what she is saying is clear.
Working on my aim.
So
What she says in that clip is that she's
Denver, I gotta go to Denver again. Working on my aim.
And just so the record's clear, Ms. Oriani is depicted saying, I have to go to Denver soon, I'm working on my aim, and then firing a Nerf gun rifle.
Your Honor, I request that that be admitted into evidence as Exhibit 2A.
Ms. Oriani, any objection?
I object to the fact that that clip is out of context due to that it's like a 2-hour live. So it's completely out of context. Why was there a Nerf gun?
Okay, well, that is a valid objection. Why should the court only take this small excerpt?
Your Honor, we'd be happy to play the entire video. It's 2 hours long.
Do you have that for the court?
I think I do have that for the court. And I think that that would be not a great use of judicial time or resources. I think it is crystal clear that she's referencing going to Denver, that this is after the protection order was served, and that she says she's taking her aim. And so if she wants to play the entire video, I do have it. I'm happy to do that.
All right, well, I'm going to allow that clip over the defendant's objection. 2A will be admitted. I do believe that the objection is well taken, but I think it goes more to the weight, not the admissibility of that evidence. And certainly, Ms. Oriani, if you would like the court to consider all 2 hours and would like to use the court's time for that purpose, then you may go ahead and admit that entire tape for consideration.
Thank you.
Go ahead, counsel.
Okay. Now I want to direct your attention, Ms. Walsh, to January 30th of 2022. And on January 30th, did you watch a video posted online by Ms. Oriani?
Yes.
And did that video address your husband?
Yes.
Do you recall what it said?
Yes. She had just returned from Denver. She said that she wanted to subpoena my medical records and subpoena my husband as well.
Your Honor, may I approach for purposes of identification?
You may.
I am showing you a video clip that has been marked as Exhibit 6A from the date you just mentioned, which was January 30th. Is this a true and accurate representation of the video clip that you made from that day?
Yes.
Did you personally make this?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I request that Exhibit 6A be admitted. I'm happy to play it first if Ms. Oriani first.
Any objection to 6A?
If you want me to play it first, that's fine.
Yes, can you put that, please? Thank you.
So guess what I'm doing? Just because. On Wednesday, I'm filing a motion. For a change of venue. It's a long shot, but fuck it. Number one, change of venue. And number two, I'm paying money to send out my first 2 subpoenas. And you do understand, when you're subpoenaed, you have to show up. Otherwise, there'll be a warrant out for your arrest. First subpoena. Vanessa's husband, Sean Walsh. second subpoena. Vanessa's medical records. With a chance. And I'll be serving that subpoena at her husband's work.
Your Honor, I request that Exhibit 6A be admitted.
Any objection, Ms. Oriani?
Once again, I object. That's a clip from a probably 6-hour live and taken out of context.
And Your Honor, I respond in the same way, which is it is very clear what she's talking about. She's talking about subpoenas in this case. I do have the full 6-hour clip. I am happy to play it for the court if that is what Ms. Oriani would like.
No, I will rule similarly. We do have a rule of completeness. The court does not have the time nor the resources in this hearing to listen to all 6 hours of that. Ms. Oriani also has access to that same tape and can play what she believes is necessary, and she may do that during her court time. I think everything else really goes to the weight and not the admissibility. So, Ms. Oriani, when you talk about it being taken out of context, you can choose to testify as to what that content, what that context is. You may also, on cross-examination, inquire. So, thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to allow that exhibit. So, 6A will be admitted.
So that was from a 6-hour live video, right?
I believe so.
Did Ms. Oriani during that 6-hour live video mention any reason that the video had been that long?
Yes, she did.
And what did she say about that?
She said that she was making the lives long so that my attorneys would have to watch them and it would cost me money.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 7-2A. Did you take this clip?
Yes.
And did you mark it?
Yes.
Is this a true and accurate representation that you marked?
Yes.
I'm going to play it now for the court.
Play. I'm curious to know the bill that it has cost to this point. With them talking about the hours of footage that they would have to go through. I mean, can you just imagine if Chris Watts's people, I mean, Chris Watts's, his attorneys would have done this. Can you imagine if, like, Frederick would have done this? Can you just imagine if, like, Frederick would have done this and was very, what's the word I want to use? Thorough. Can you just imagine that? We wouldn't be here. But all these hours that they're going to put into this investigation.
I'm now playing the related clips of 7-2B through 2D from the same broadcast.
Do you know if it would be public information to find out what that bill would be at this point? How many hours have been put into, watching? I mean, I'm just saying, if I was in Mod Squad's position, I would be, on the phone with my attorney saying, I can't have you spend $10,000 on watching footage. If this is going to cost, then I can't go forward with that. and $10,000 would be right around 30 hours worth of footage. We know I like to talk, and I'm talking a lot right now for a reason.
So Ms. Oriani, in that clip, or Ms. Walsh, in that clip, Ms. Oriani refers to Mod Squad. Who's that?
She's using that in place of my name.
How do you know that?
Because she says it at the beginning of the video, and she also slips up multiple times through the video and says my name and unmasked.
So I'm now showing you exhibit 7-2C.
I mean, all I know is that it's getting for attorneys, and there's 6 hours worth of material to go through. Great live, Lana. Like, just, this is insane. This is insane. Apparently emojis are coded. It's just now. The best is when I hear from Callie, and she's like, "Who are these people?" Thought me and Callie were cool. I don't know. I guess they're cool to everybody. I don't have to know. Thank you. It's a very long live. 6 hours. You're gonna have to do a lot of material.
Now I'm playing 7-2D.
$55 and 58 minutes. If I eat one more pickle, it'll be to 6 hours. And that is at least $1,800.
Your Honor, I submit exhibits 7-2A through D into evidence.
Ms. Oriani, any objection?
No objection.
The 7A. 7-2A, boy, we've got a lot of numbers here. 7-2B, 7-2C, and 7-2D will all be admitted, but counsel, you're gonna need to show the court the relevance of eating a pickle on.
Your Honor, I don't believe that the pickle is the relevant part. I think the fact that following service, Ms. Oriani was endeavoring to cost Ms. Walsh money is part and parcel of the harassing behavior in this case.
All right, well, that goes to the weight, but not the admissibility. I think it meets the threshold of admissibility, but it's gonna need to be all stitched together in an argument.
Understood, Your Honor. Your Honor, one moment, please. So I want to go back to the previous clip we saw regarding a request for your medical records. Was that the only time that following service on the 17th that Ms. Oriani did a live broadcast related to medical records for you or your family?
No.
Was there another time that she discussed medical records related to your husband?
Yes.
Okay, and did you take a clip of that?
Yes, I did.
I'm showing you a clip that has been marked as Exhibit 7E. And is that a true and accurate representation of the clip that you took in this case?
Yes.
Do you recall the date that that was prepared, or would it require you to look at a document to the professional?
I need to look at a document.
I'm going to play Exhibit 7E.
Has your husband had any procedures done? Any the past 10 years, any procedures? Would your husband be, well, Scott, would your husband be surprised or shocked if he was asked? They would object to that and they would be overruled. So I'd have to rephrase this question, which would be, husband, fiance, business matter, yeah, have you had any, has he had any surgeries, any procedures done on him in the past 10 years? Mod Squad, is your husband able to get you pregnant? So he hasn't had any procedures that would, you know, that he would be able to get pregnant. Objection. Relevancy. Well, this is going in terms of the possible fear that Mod Squad would have if, you know, she was to be pregnant and then find out that her husband can't possibly be the one to get her pregnant. Would her husband know that she was having an affair that way if that came out? So you'd have decided that's relevant because it's been told to my client that and said in this paperwork about prescriptions, something about personal life, family members. My client was told all of this because from Stephanie, and again, Stephanie's here to testify that this is what was told to her from James Angelo. So, we give this some relevancy here with why maybe James Angelo was not removed and the level of fairness that would cause harm to one's marriage. So if Mr. Walsh was asked these questions, yeah, did you hold your hand? Did you hold your wife's hand during any type of procedures? And, you know, were you aware that? Would it surprise you to find out that your wife had a miscarriage? Any of that be surprising to you? Did you know this?
Now, Ms. Walsh, I'm going to ask you a little bit about the context of that clip. Can you explain what was going on in that clip?
She's, in my opinion, trying to threaten me.
What I mean is that part of that 6-hour live?
Yes.
So what we heard was Ms. Oriani seemed to be acting out sort of a court proceeding.
Yes.
Can you tell me, did you view that entire video?
Yes, I did.
And can you tell me the context of what she was doing with the objections and things like that based on your having watched it?
She was holding a mock trial for this hearing and going through what she said she was going to ask me and calling me Mod Squad.
Okay. And was that a mocked up cross-examination of you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you make your online persona a personal matter?
No.
Do you keep your business and personal life separate online?
Completely.
Do you use your full name online?
No.
Do you use any identifying information about yourself?
No.
And do you identify your husband or your daughter online?
No.
Have you ever inadvertently identified your daughter online?
No, not to my recollection.
At some point, did you inadvertently say your daughter's name and not put it online?
I can't remember the date, but there was a private members only live that I had, and I slipped up and said her name and deleted the live.
So is it fair to say that you take pains to make sure that you do not publish any personal identifying information?
Yes.
Okay. At some point since January 17th, did Ms. Oriani publish identifying information about you online?
Yes.
Do you remember the date of that?
There's been multiple dates.
May I approach it?
You may.
Would it refresh your recollection to see the document that you made? And what identifying information did she share at that time?
My full name, my full legal name, my husband's full name, and my IP address.
And what type of identifying information is included in your IP address?
That's my personal, people that get that can hack you, do pretty much whatever they want with it if they know how.
Is it also linked to a specific zip code?
Yes.
Okay, and in this case, would that be linked to your home zip code?
Yes, it would.
Okay, I'm gonna play for you what has been marked as Exhibit 2B.
The court IP address, got it.
And can you describe what the image is on that video?
It's the bottom portion of a NDA, and it has the IP address on the bottom, and she showed it in public live.
Okay, and did you take this clip?
Yes.
Is it a true and accurate representation of what happened on the video?
Yes.
I request that the court admit Exhibit 2B.
Any objection to 2B?
No, Your Honor.
2B will be admitted.
Your Honor, I want to double check on my work. Was Exhibit 7E admitted?
No, it was not.
Your Honor, I apologize. That was the clip from just a moment ago with the mock trial and the cross-examination with the personal questions, including whether my client had an extramarital affair and a miscarriage, and I request that be admitted as Exhibit 7E.
Ms. Oriani, any objection to 7E?
No, Your Honor.
7E is admitted. How about 2B? Do you have any objection to 2B?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. 2B is also admitted.
Now I want to direct your attention, Ms. Walsh, to one more clip that I want to show you and then talk about before we request for it to be admitted. I want to direct your attention to January 20th. Did you watch a live show that was someone else's show on January 20th?
Yes.
And whose show was that?
Natasha Cooper's.
Who's that?
She's another YouTube creator.
And at some point, did you see Ms. Walsh comment in the community while you were watching that?
Ms. Oriani did comment.
Okay. And can you provide some information about the discussion and then Ms. Oriani's comment?
They were discussing the service of her TBO, and she was saying that Vanessa Walsh did this to my son, that it traumatized her son, and that Natasha Cooper said that I should have my ass beat. And she agreed.
Okay, I'm going to play this clip.
The intent. But for him to do this and have another man with him, whether he was a legal process server or not, he needs his ass beat. And whoever sent him there needs their ass beat. You don't do this kind of thing intentionally to hurt a child. And that is exactly what they did this for. They did this at this exact time.
So I want to direct your attention on this clip at 29:21. Who's this a photo of in that small circle with the comment at 29:21?
Miss Oriani.
And is that her screaming?
Yes.
What is that screaming?
Truth and transparency.
And what is her response to the other person saying that whoever did this needs their ass beat?
Vanessa Walsh hired him.
Your Honor, I request that Exhibit 3A be admitted.
Ms. Oriani, any objection under the rules of evidence to 3A?
No objection.
3A will be admitted. Again, it goes to the weight, not the admissibility.
So, Ms. Walsh, we have discussed a number of things today, including tagging you so that it shows up as a message to you, including what occurred last night, including, certainly somewhat, I don't know how to exactly characterize it in a neutral way, but content of certain videos that appear to be aimed at you since Ms. Oriani was served. Do those represent the only times that she was either tagging you or directing video content at you?
No.
So if Ms. Oriani is posting video content that is about you or directed at you and doesn't tag you, can you ignore it?
No.
Why not?
Because the way that, sorry, I can explain this. The way that the algorithms work on YouTube as well is because she does tag me so much, even though I'm not subscribed to her channel, it still appears in my feed.
So with it still appearing in your feed, you get it automatically when you sign on for your job?
Yes.
And do you also hear about it from other people?
Yes.
When Ms. Oriani mentions you in a live, how often do you hear from other people about it?
On average, I could have 20 to 50 people send me that.
So given your current employment as a full-time YouTuber, is it possible for you to avoid Ms. Oriani's comments about you?
No.
Give me one moment. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Zimmerman, do you want to ask your client any questions about what brought her here in the first place?
Your Honor, I believe that the court heard extensive evidence about that. I certainly can backtrack and go through that because Ms.
Well, it's
Oriani's...
not backtracking, counsel, when Ms. Oriani wasn't present the first time.
I understand, Your Honor. Ms. Oriani is in possession of the complaint and stated that she did not plan to testify today, which causes me to believe that she acknowledges the things in the complaint. But I would, I think you're right, Your Honor, that it will be safer to go through.
It's your case.
the court did see a lot of the information that Ms. Walsh had earlier on, and so I'm going to start and go over in sort of a quicker fashion. Ms. Walsh, how did you initially come in contact with Ms. Oriani?
I have a question here. She's talking about the court saw a bunch of stuff prior to. Is that admitted into evidence or like exhibits?
It's not admitted into evidence as an exhibit, Ms. Oriani. That first hearing is what's called ex parte,
Yes.
because Ms. Walsh was the only one present. And so while the court can take judicial notice of the court, whatever is in the court file, and I was the presiding officer, none of that was subject to cross-examination. And so what I'm telling Ms. Zimmerman is that I want it heard again because I want you to have the opportunity to cross-examine. I'm not, as I said at the beginning, I love trials. I love trials. I've 3 decades in the courtroom, and I really believe in cross-examination. And so rather than limit any exposure, especially since I'm dealing with you who is ex parte, I want to hear it again, subject to cross-examination and a different set of eyes. So
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's what I was doing there, is letting Ms. Zimmerman know I want to hear more. Thank you.
So, Ms. Walsh, we talked previously about your job as a YouTuber. And what genre of channel do you have?
True crime.
And is that a large online community?
Yes.
How would you describe the nature of the work that you do in the true crime community?
We research and analyze and then make content. And I also have a discussion group, but make content about cases all over the world.
Okay. And are you familiar with Ms. Oriani's channel?
Yes.
And what is the name of her channel?
Truth and Transparency.
How would you categorize her channel?
She says it's true crime. I would categorize it as drama.
Okay. Is it, does she, on her channel, purport to place herself under the umbrella of true crime?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you initially come into contact with Ms. Oriani?
I was first made aware of her because I was sent a post, a threatening post that she posted December 31st, 2020.
So December 31st of 2020. And what was that post?
It's a post in a large group where she talks about my channel and me. I go on Facebook, I'm Vanessa, and she's angry in the post and then tags her current location at the bottom as Tessa's house.
Do you recall what she was angry about? Just broadly speaking.
The Chris Watts case.
Okay. Had you commented on the Chris Watts case?
Yes.
And had Ms. Oriani also publicly commented on the Chris Watts case?
Yes.
Okay.
So, sorry to answer your question fully. I knew her through that and through her online Shazam video.
Okay. So on December 31st of 2020, she posted something saying that she was at your house, which,
yes,
and she was not in fact at your house.
Correct.
Around that time, did you come to the understanding that she had requested information about your home address?
No, I didn't know that until this December.
Okay. At what point did you initially engage with Ms. Oriani?
August 6th, I believe, of this year.
August 6th of this year hasn't happened yet.
Oh, I mean last year, I'm sorry.
2021? 2021?
Yes, 21, sorry.
And had Ms. Oriani attempted to engage with you between December 31st of 2020 and August of 2021?
Yes.
How often?
I know of at least 2 times where she asked my employee that she wanted to be on my channel and to send me a video.
And what did you respond?
I said no.
Why?
I did not want any association with her because of the nature of her Shazam videos.
And what is the nature of the Shazam videos?
She wears a corpse filter and mocks She plays a deceased Cheyenne Watts and mocks Bella and Cece's death.
Okay.
Sorry, Bella and Cece Watts.
So I would like the court to take judicial notice of the fact that the Watts case is a Weld County case originating in Colorado from, I think, 2018, wherein Chris Watts pled guilty to killing his wife and 2 daughters. And this was a case where he disposed of the bodies of the girls in oil tankers on the Anadarko site. It was a nationally relevant news story and is something that I think
I don't know that it's appropriate for me to take judicial notice of it. Your client has mentioned the case. I don't know why I would need to take judicial notice of the case.
Will you clarify who Bella and Cece are?
The daughters of Shanae and Chris Watts.
Did Chris Watts murder them?
Yes, he did.
So now go back and explain again what the Shazam videos are with that context.
She wears a corpse filter and
I'm sorry, when you say she, who are you?
Miss Oriani wears a corpse filter over her face and
what is that?
It's
Your Honor, I do have the videos if it would help the court. They're profoundly disturbing, which is why I am not saying that.
I guess I'm not even sure how it's relevant.
I think that watching the videos is not relevant. The only part of it that is relevant is that is the reason that Ms. Walsh was not engaging with Ms. Oriani was because she did not want to be associated with the creator of those videos. That's it.
So you could really sum that up by saying that Ms. Oriani has a website that Ms. Walsh finds distasteful or irreputable.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay. Why did you then choose to engage with Ms. Oriani when you did?
There was a live on a different channel that was set to, it had the advertisement up with, the advertisement was half my face and Ms. Oriani's face, and it said that they were going to fully dox us, which means publish our personal information on a live.
Why did that cause you concern?
Because I am very private and that's not been done, so I contacted YouTube to stop it.
And so did you reach out to Ms. Oriani or did she reach out to you about that?
I reached out to her to see if she had seen the ad and was able to reach YouTube.
Okay. And then what happened?
YouTube told me it would take 48 hours. The video was set for 24. So I was basically in a panic trying to see how I could get it to not air.
Did you think that by working with Ms. Oriani, you could get it to not air?
Yes.
Will you describe how your interaction with Ms. Oriani progressed after that?
The conversations were friendly. And after that, we spoke about mainly bullying online, things of that nature. In August, in September, there was one day in particular, I think she sent me 13 messages in a row. I was not responding as much, trying to kind of back off of it. And then I think we spoke again in November.
And what happened after you spoke in November?
We spoke in November and then towards the end of November, beginning of December, there was a shift that I noticed.
What did you notice?
She, despite being friendly in the conversations, started having lives. So she'd be friendly to me in a conversation and have a live accusing me of things and being adversary. So
it is a live, are you talking about a live stream?
A live
sort of
broadcast, yeah, like a TV show.
And so what did you do to discontinue communication with her?
First, I tried to talk to her to see if I could control the situation that way and just kind of keep on good terms so nothing would escalate, just be nice.
How long was that phone conversation?
On December 2nd, I believe it was 5 hours, and it was right after a live where she had accused me of something and then made one of my employees very uncomfortable, and I contacted her about that.
Is it
fair to say that you thought that if you could talk to her, that you could fix the situation and get her to stop doing it?
Yes.
Did that work?
No.
What did you do next?
It ended up having the opposite effect, and so I blocked her on December 21st.
What do you mean it had the opposite effect?
I felt like the nicer I was and the more I tried to reason with her, the more irrational she became. She basically said that I need to publicly back her and her version of things or else, and tagging me in videos and things. I even asked her to please not do that, not tag me anymore, and she said that she'll do what she wants.
What was she threatening to do if you didn't publicly back her?
I don't know what she meant by it, just, or else come, I don't know what that encompassed at the time.
So how did you feel when you were faced with the choice of either blocking her or just letting everything continue?
I was stressed out because I didn't want any more communication, but I also was nervous about what would happen if I blocked her. But ultimately, I didn't want any more communication, so I chose to block her.
And what happened after that?
She got extremely upset.
How do you know that?
She had a live broadcast where she was extremely angry about it and even cried at the end.
And after that live broadcast and her being very upset, did she discontinue communication with you or at you?
No.
What did she do after that since she was blocked?
She went live about me every single day for hours a day, and it just increased in alarming behavior every single day.
So when you say she went live about you, was this about your commentary on the Chris Watts case?
No.
Or was it about you personally?
Me personally.
At some point, did she disclose personal medical information about you?
Yes, she did.
What was that?
She disclosed that I had a miscarriage over the summer, and what was so upsetting was she blackmailed me with it first. When I didn't comply, she released it.
So describe that for me.
She was on a video, I believe it was December 29th. That was actually one of the videos that prompted me to get help. Her whole entire demeanor was alarming, the way she was speaking, the way she was acting. The thing she was saying that, all kinds of things about me, and saying that if any of my friends ever spoke about her, or if I didn't, basically because I blocked her, she was going to release medical information on me.
And what were the events that caused you to seek the protection order in this case?
Those events, and then becoming aware that at the same time all this was going on, that she had threatened bodily harm and to come to my house prior to this.
Was it your understanding that she knew where you lived?
Yes, she asked for all my information, address, family members.
And was it your understanding that she had that information?
Yes.
And did that include the photo of your husband?
Yes. She also, I'm sorry.
No, please.
During that video, she also stated the biggest thing that pushed me to come was that she said that she had tried to get my attention a year ago by placing a picture of my husband in an advertisement video for the Chris Watts murders. It had no place there. I never saw it, so I didn't know that it happened until this current December.
Have you seen it since then?
Yes.
And do you know when it was reported?
January 5th of 2021.
Would you recognize that video if you saw it?
Yes.
Your Honor, I am approaching to show Ms. Walsh what has been marked as Exhibit 14D. Is this the trailer that was played on January 5th of was it 2020 or 2021?
That would be, this past January, so,
2021.
yes.
Okay. So it was a year, it was roughly 6 months before you had had any interaction with Ms. Oriani.
Correct.
Okay. And did you send this video clip?
Yes.
Is this a true and accurate representation of the video clip that you saw of this trailer?
Yes.
And it was presented on Ms. Oriani's channel?
Yes.
Do I have your attention now? This is what the uneducated want you to see. Yes, the uneducated. Those who are misinformed. You must feel special. Look at, oh, Father's Day. Thank you. My dad is special. Oh, is this fact? Captain Brown? Oh, really? This is more like a soap opera. So funny. That's what I think too. This is what I do. This is what I do. I dissect and I investigate. I investigate the orders. I investigate this case. What does a 35C look like? 4 pages that you fill out? I dare you and encourage you to come take a ride with me.
So Your Honor, I'm pausing this at 2:31. This is a complete trailer. And Ms. Walsh, is this a trailer for like an upcoming episode that
Yes.
Ms. Oriani was doing at the time?
Yes.
So at 2:31, I paused it. There's a photo that seems different than the other photos that were in there. Who's that?
That's my husband.
And I'm gonna stop it now. That photo was displayed from 2:31 to 2:37 for 6 seconds.
Shazam, season 2. But Blair, it's a puzzle. It's a lunar eclipse, Blair, but it's not a puzzle. It's a lunar eclipse. It's a lunar eclipse, Blair. It's been talking to Christopher for the past 2 years. But who is Christopher? Who is Christopher? Who is anybody in this puzzle? Find out on season 2. Shazam. What a day. But Blair, all broadcasting, all copyrights. Let's just give it to Christopher.
Your Honor, I request that Exhibit 14D be admitted.
Ms. Oriani, any?
No objections.
All right, 14D will be admitted.
And then I'm going to play the related Exhibit 15A, which is Ms. Oriani's more recent commentary on that trailer, so that I can discuss them together. Is this a video clip that you took, Ms. Walsh?
Yeah.
And is this a fair and accurate representation of the video clip that you took?
Yes.
In November, I mean, like, who's Lana? How about this, Vanessa? You saw the trailer that I did. And something that I put in that trailer that is money now to this day is Andrea Powers sent me a picture of Vanessa's husband. And what did I do? I put Vanessa's husband, that picture, in my trailer. In my Shazam What a Day trailer. Now, everybody's watched this supposedly, okay? Wouldn't you, if you were Vanessa, nobody's gonna know who her husband is, except for Vanessa. If you watch this trailer, it's 2 minutes long, I'm gonna play it, and you see a picture of your husband, wouldn't you say, oh, wouldn't you call up your business partner, supposedly who's Teresa, or your right hand, call Teresa and say, holy shit, what is this trailer? Did you see the part at 1 minute and 19 seconds? What? No. That's Sean. Oh, wait, that's right. Teresa didn't even know what Sean looked like. Nobody knew. But Andrew Powers did. Andrew Powers gave me that shit in 2020 of November and December. And gave me this story, this narrative of Vanessa. And I'm like, I paid no attention to it. Don't care about these people. That's not how I operate. I do my thing. I don't care what people do. So they start messing with me in line. So I go ahead and I put a picture of Sean in this trailer. And I thought to myself, and I had an aha moment. Vanessa never went to anybody, not even Luna the Lawyer, nobody, and never said a word about the fact that her husband's picture was in the trailer. So I had an aha moment, as I normally do when I think about things. And I said, Teresa, I said, remember how I told you that those bots, Shazam trailers were altered to the point that somebody put on a toe tag of a little baby that was the.
Okay. So, did you see this second clip when it was live?
Yes.
Is that how you became aware that there had been a previous trailer featuring Sean?
Yes.
And did you hear Ms. Oriani discuss the timeline of when she got that photo of Sean?
Yes.
What did she say?
She said it was November 2020, which is not true.
She said, I think November or December of 2020. Does that sound more accurate?
Yes, December 2020 is.
How many months is that before you knew who she was?
It was actually the same day.
And how many months is that before you engaged with her?
6, actually 8 months.
And during that time, she was reaching out to you?
Yes.
Got it. So there's this yellow thing that popped up on that exhibit that says $9.99.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
That's a super chat.
What does that mean?
While she was doing the lives about me, she was collecting money off of them. They're also monetized with commercials.
Understood. Your Honor, I submit Exhibit 15A into evidence. And the prior Exhibit 14D.
Any objection to 15A and
Nope.
14D? Those exhibits will be admitted.
So leading up to filing the temporary protection order, we've sort of discussed the trajectory of the relationship. What was the most serious thing that happened immediately before you saw the temporary protection order?
It was kind of a culmination of those last several days.
Is it fair to say that it felt more escalated to you once your family was involved?
Absolutely.
And is that part of the reason that you saw the protection order?
That, and because of what I was shown about her prior threats.
Are those threats directed at you?
Yes.
And were other people shared with you information tending to show that Ms. Oriani has threatened you?
Yes.
With physical harm?
Yes.
I don't have anything else to render. Thank you.
Ms. Walsh, I'm going to ask you a few questions now. And the reason that I'm cutting in front of Ms. Oriani is I want Ms. Oriani to have the opportunity to then follow up on my questions. And then, of course, Ms. Zimmerman will have an opportunity to follow up as well. What piece of evidence would you direct me to where you felt there was a threat of harm to you?
I have proof of it. I have a screenshot where she says she's gonna come to my house and quote, fuck up my face.
That's the first I've heard of that.
Your Honor, we do have that. It is from a different person. It is a text string between Ms. Oriani and a different person that was forwarded to Ms. Walsh. And so there are admissibility issues, although I would be happy to admit it as it relates to the effect on the listener and not for the truth of the matter asserted. If the court would be interested in seeing.
No, I'm really interested in just the bare bones here. What were you fearful that Ms. Oriani was going to do?
Come to my home and continue to put out information on my family members, including my children.
Okay, well, let me ask you then a rather rhetorical question. How are you different as a blogger or as a researcher for your blog than the celebrities in Hollywood?
I'm definitely not viewed as much as they are.
Okay, so that goes to the amount of fame, okay? But going to Hollywood, they have the tours of the celebrity homes, okay, where celebrities who don't want their public want their addresses made public, and now they have a tour bus driving by their home. How are you different?
Because I've kept my personal information private. There's not that much interest in me. It's all out there now, but it wasn't before.
So you don't consider yourself a public figure?
I wouldn't say a huge one, maybe a small public figure. And I'm not necessarily afraid that she's going to just drive by my house after I saw the threats as well, that she quotes that she wanted to fuck up my face twice, and she said.
Okay, well, that's not in evidence. So based on what your attorney admitted, what do you believe I should be looking at?
The sheer amount, that's just a small sampling of what has gone on. And the fact that even with the TPO, instead of backing off or following the court's order, she escalated it even further than before.
Oh, yeah, right. But there's two prongs here, and what I'm looking for is prong number one. Okay, so back to the whole reason for the protection order in the first place. Okay, did this cause you emotional harm?
Yes.
How so?
It's caused me anxiety. I've had to go on blood pressure medication, had to increase anti-anxiety meds. I've been unable to work. I spend all my time now trying to see what threats are out there and what's being said instead of putting out content, therefore not making any money.
Okay, well, that's going to be my next question. How about just don't turn on that channel or click on the I think it's called a channel, right? The YouTube channel. Why not just don't turn it on?
I don't actually sub to her channel, which is, so how it works is when I pull up my channel every day for work, we have a feed that gives notifications and it shows me that anyway. And they're sent to me because people are worried about me as well.
All right. Those were my questions. All right, Ms. Oriani, you are going to have an opportunity for cross-examination. Now, you seem well enough versed that I'm going to allow you to just cross-examine yourself as long as the questions aren't argumentative and aren't testimony, okay? So otherwise, I'll let you ask questions and then I'll reword them to make them proper. I'm going to try to assist you if I can. But I'd rather just allow you to carry on. But first, we're going to take a brief break because I did have a glass of water earlier. So we're going to be in recess for 10 minutes and then get started. Okay. So I've got 10:57. Let's come back at 10 after 11.
Jessica, can you stop it? Is she up here? Andrea, can you let her know to stop it? Oh God, you're going to hear us talking in the back. Oh my God. The microphones are still on? Andrea, can you get Jessica with the case? Shut up. I was going to stop it.
Yeah. So I'm sure they're all like, what?
That's us talking. Is that us talking? Oh my God. No. God. Thank you, Sister Knives. Oh yeah, it's me. I was friends with her. You don't need to hear what I actually said to know what I said. And in the next part, you'll hear me let out a few flat tires, like, and you can definitely hear my eye rolls. Like I get so pissed coming up. So bad. But what I was going to do is stop it here. And that way, we can just kind of, have a good 2-hour mark. Is a lot to go over. So what do y'all think so far? I know, this is really good. And this is just getting warmed up. Except the very beginning, y'all, I made it. She, LaLa, the drunken troll, the first time she says it. And then the next time she says, LaLa, the drunken Cupid. Oh God, it made it. But those lawyers were probably talking mad crap too. Her hair, it was in knots. It was not brushed like for days in the back. Not just tangled, like it was bad. And you know how that picture of her butt crack on that one when she went and she was in that roller chair and her butt crack was showing? Well, that's how it was in court. I literally saw the butt crack in person. And she looked pale. She looked hungover, like she hadn't even been to bed. And sorry, my voice is still gone. Uh-huh.
Well,
No.
I think you should.
Hear
Play.
me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been listening. I've been letting you talk because you haven't had a voice.
Yes, thank you.
I don't think it's very fair not to be able to not to play some of the rebuttal from Lana tonight.
I
You're
mean,
just gonna
it's
cut it off?
already been 2 hours. There's like 7 hours or so of this?
I
The
know.
courtroom crack attack, yeah.
Well, I'm not saying all of it. I was just saying, you know, a little bit of that, of the cross-examination, but
Okay, and Carrie,
okay.
we
Take your time.
are at a break. So everybody go take a restroom break. It's like a 10, 15-minute break. And I'll just keep going it. I'll just keep doing it. We can't find the person who's running the show anyway. She's not stopping it. So,
Yay! No.
yes, it was a long day.
You know, like,
It was,
it's just I just keep thinking about the emotions and the look on Vanessa's face and
oh, I know.
just
Um,
all of it. It's, I mean, I
yeah,
don't know
watching her
if
case
you
was
can
just,
hear it in her voice, but
yeah,
through the recording, but I mean, it's just like she was just very uneasy and very upset. It was just, the air was so thick at
yes.
that point. So
Oh, yeah. And this, by the end of the day, it was just so, oh, yeah, it was a long day. So and she
yeah.
was on this, you have to remember, she has been on the stand the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody just staring at her.
Right. And there was like a video, or I can't remember which one it was now because they've played several videos, but there was one where it sounded like it was actually Lana talking in the courtroom, but it was the actual video talking. So at
Hmm.
this point, Lana has not really talked that much. It's been more, you know, the videos. So
What now?
so there's like one video where it sounds like it's Lana talking in the courtroom, but it's an actual video.
Yeah, I
Like
put that up there. Yeah, so that was her mock trial questions, y'all. That was her
right.
mock trial question. Thanks. Yeah, I had put it up in a banner, and I was trying to put banners up and key points, but
Oh,
you know,
okay. You know what? I actually wasn't looking at that.
oh
I was just listening. So maybe everybody else caught that and I didn't. I just wanted to bring, you know, light to that really quickly.
yes, because I saw everybody freaking out. I'm like, whoa, whoa, wait a minute. They didn't catch on that was the um, her video, her live, her channel live, and those are the questions that she wanted to ask.
Mhm.
But as you'll see, it doesn't get. It's just still just as inappropriate. So, um, just
Yeah,
continue.
I would definitely like to listen to some of Landa's
Okay.
rebuttal, tonight, just so people, and I'm really glad that everybody can hear this because it's not just hearsay now. You're actually getting to hear it for yourself to make your own decision of what you feel about it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that everybody can see the judge has been just really fair.
Patient.
I
Okay, I was
mean,
thinking patient fair. Okay, that works.
yes, I
Uh,
mean, she's been very patient, very, very fair, understanding. I mean, she really has. So, and that's really shining through.
yeah, she even had me, going, okay, that's fair. Let Lana have that one,
Yeah,
and
I did.
then
I thought that too. I was like, yeah, good
yeah,
point.
that's true. Yeah, and then of course Lana whips her head around and gives me that smug ass look.
I mean, I
I'm like,
love the
nanny nanny
beginning.
boo
I'm not
boo.
gonna lie. I'm so happy that all the drunk control stuff was caught. I was
Oh my
laughing
god,
my ass.
the best. Both of them, the one to the
I
lawyer,
know.
but you have to
I know.
really listen for that one because I didn't hear it, and then I saw
Oh, I
chat
did.
saying, "Oh my god, I heard in LaLa the drunk control," and I was like, "Yes, thank you," but
Oh,
you can really hear the judge one. Yeah. Oh, it's funny,
I just
and
hope that we since leading up to this. I just hope that we described it and we were accurate, where people know,
Yeah.
like, we were really giving the perspective of what was actually happening, and not just the narrative that we wanted to spin on it.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Well, what I think I'm going to do, y'all, is I am going to probably end this because she stopped the video, and that way the people that want to go back over and listen to the audio, I didn't want to do commentary with that. I have no voice. I'm so sorry. But we will pick it up tomorrow. And then after that live, we'll do a commentary because I have more voice now than I have. So it's coming back. It's getting better. But I'm so glad y'all all came by. Yeah, I'm gonna make y'all wait. She already dropped down and closed it out. I know. It is interesting though, isn't it? It's really because we all have, we know the players in the game, and we all have a different perception of what took place. And that's why I put on that one video, there's only one truth. And I think it gets laid out here in court.
Right. And I just like it too, because there's always a truth that you tell. There's always two sides to every story, or anything for that matter. Five people can look at the same situation and view it totally different.
Yeah.
So
well, y'all have
I'm
to
really like
remember
that,
that before I even got there, Lana had called the cops. She had went, to the police and told them whatever. But they just the cop was in there. And even the judge just like basically told her to sit her ass down. They all knew I was coming. It was no secret that I wanted to know, first of all, the COVID procedures. Did I need to, give my information? Did I need to show a vaccine? I'm from Texas. I don't know how these other states work. And they have all spun it to some crazy level, right? And that's why I just pushed out all these videos today, because like just kind of see of a different perspective. And I'm really hoping y'all can just start seeing the truth. That I've never before had been more convinced that what has been going on is so wrong, and it really gets laid out in court. It really does become very clear.
I agree, because like once you actually see it laid out in court, and I
it's
know that we
crazy.
held back on telling people a lot of stuff that was being said, because we wanted, like when we talked about this before, we were like, yeah, it's better to let people just hear it for themselves. And you can just really hear when it's laid out. I mean, it goes beyond just YouTube drama.
Yeah.
There's like
See
a
that, and this
lot.
right here, this person right here, grandpa's watching Joe. I think you've completely missed the mark. Okay. One, they're not public figures. They do get identified, and that does get broke down in court. It does get covered because Lana wanted them as public figures. And then at the same time, Vanessa is like, no, I don't have all my family out there. People don't know my family's name. You know what I'm saying? It's not out there. And so they had to go in the law books and go research whatever, how to identify, first of all, how to identify them. Right. And that does get explained. But the problem is, Joe, that and people keep saying, oh, this is going to shut down our amendments. No, and they break that down for you too. You have to, if you're listening, you're going to catch where the lines are drawn, and you have to be paying attention, because you don't even have to really be paying attention to see that lines are drawn. This is an actual courtroom. This is not YouTube. It's an actual courtroom hearing this stuff. It's crazy. It's unacceptable. And I refuse to sit by any longer. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's everything that you're wondering right now. It's all going to be explained in court.
Yeah, and
Because
Vanessa
these
was
were all thoughts at this point. Honestly, these were things that were being brought up about the public figure, for example, and all that. I'm like, okay, well, is that true? Is that what this actually is? But it really, I mean, once you go through it, you'll see. You're going to completely see the judge makes it very clear in very depth explanation of where the line is, where it was crossed, and why it was crossed. Like she leaves no stone unturned.
Yeah, it took all day, but everybody had
So,
a great
yeah.
understanding of everything at the
Mhm.
end.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you feel about all of this now that it was, oh my gosh, but y'all don't, I had already started backing up in private. You know, people had said, oh, you were okay with it until it happened to you. And that's not true. I started seeing it when it happened to Shift. That was my first light bulb. The others, I just thought they were all lying. And after her, like, I believed what she was saying. And Shift was the one I knew for a fact Lana was lying. And I watched her and Mod Squad manipulate me. Um, anyway, they tried to manipulate me, but I already knew the truth. So that's where I saw it. Like it was black and white. I tried to pacify Lana and tried to ease out of the situation and she just was not having it. And she just blew up on her. Like she went on and on for me for weeks before I even made my first video. And so, um, I feel horrible. Of course I do. But I don't want people to make the mistake thinking, oh, it happened to me. And then that's when I turned or she booted me. No, she knew I was heading out the door because I was like, you're wrong for this. And you just can't admit it, like, and then they just couldn't admit it. And she accused Shift of being you know, Lauren and then accused Lauren of being like this killer, a murderer. And that person went to the police station and is reporting the fight for her family, y'all. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Like, she can blow it off all day, but okay. Oh, okay. Great, Jessica. Thanks. Appreciate that. Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna go to bed. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna um what we're at, Jessica. Let me see private messages. Hold on. Well, and it's LaLa, Jessica. You gotta fix your autocorrect, girl. Let's just do it tomorrow. It's already late. I'm getting some messages that it's late. So we'll just do it tomorrow.
Lame.
Yeah, there is a long list of people that don't want their names out there, and I have several of them in DMs. Shush. I had enough of
Lame.
you on the trip. Y'all have got to go see our little road trip videos. She was cracking me
No,
up.
no, 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 no. Did you see my comment though? I told you because you were saying something about in one of your videos today about everybody thought you were going down there to jump Lana or something. And
Oh
I
my
said
God. Yo,
the
she
only thing
told
you were
people.
jumping was your car.
Yeah. Oh, and to the little butt heads that are talking crap about my car going down there, screw you. My car made it and made it back. People are like, oh, and her junky car. Okay, fine. Be a
Hey,
jerk.
that car I'm convinced is possessed. Oh,
And I hope all the people that were just talking mess about me all day long about how I sat in the courtroom recording this, like, give me a break. Give me a break. Oh,
it was
God.
really like a Lifetime
Sister
movie.
Knives came
Honestly,
through.
I think somebody said that in here. They were like, it's like it really was. It was like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, that's what I was saying when we came out. I was
It was
like,
like
God,
weird.
I was like, oh my God, this is, it was just so different. Like watching her behave the same or hearing some of those videos played in a courtroom. It was
Yes, it's ridiculous.
cringing.
Like when you hear it in the courtroom versus
Yes.
like when you're watching it on YouTube just to watch it. But then like hearing it in a real life situation, you're like, oh my God, what is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah, I was thankful for my car. I don't want to
Definitely.
sell it. uh, oh yeah, I know.
That's
I
when it's the
don't know
car.
why I didn't think about that. About the Starbucks. I was supposed to say the car was acting up. That would have been such an easy one. But
What?
instead, because I really wanted that Starbucks off. But she woke up and knew that we were 2 hours off.
Yeah.
Of the garage.
Yeah. Oh, so you're openly admitting it? I woke up and knew we were 2 hours off. So you're openly admitting it.
No.
So there was fuckery going on.
No. 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 Oh, funny. No. No.
Okay, now I'm pissed. Now I'm gonna go make some videos about you.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank y'all for coming by. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. I'm on a 48-hour shift. So probably tomorrow evening will be the best that I can do, like 6, 7. And I'll get with Jessica and Andrea and see who can, when everybody can meet up. But yeah, we're gonna get through it. It gets better. This was just a warm up. So, all right. Well, y'all can catch the replay, and thank y'all for stopping by, and just show some support for Vanessa, and try not to be too hard on the people who have been through hell. Like, cut us some slack, okay? All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.